Sacramento International Airport was recently named one of the best for holiday travel, but that doesn't necessarily mean travelers can make their trip take it for granted, of course. Joining us now to talk about holiday travel season is Scott Johnson from SMF. Thanks so much for being here, Scott.
Sure, thanks for having me.
You know, we have these conversations every year. I think the biggest question for a lot of people, what are the trends now? What are the big trends this year?
Well, I mean, as far as trends go, for us, it's parking. And the big thing for us that we're trying to communicate to folks is that we will have a place for you to park when you come to the airport. Just planning ahead is very important. You know, we want people to check out our website before they even leave the house to make sure that we're going to have the spot that they're looking for available. There will be a spot available no matter what, but sometimes people get used to parking in certain places, and we want to make sure that if they can't park there, they know where to go. Explain
for people the busiest times and days. We're talking Thanksgiving coming next week. So what do you anticipate being the busiest time and the busiest day?
So we're expecting over 100,000 people between November 21st and November 26th, 27th. And the busiest times for us are usually in the mornings between like 6 to 8 a.m. For departures, and then all the way up until noon for just general traffic.
Okay, that is good to know. Talk about the growth of the airport. I was there recently, and there's a lot of construction in that area. I mean, there's a lot of development going on. We talk about the parking. There's this parking lot that has opened up. How has that impacted air travel?
So we haven't seen any real issues with the construction that's going on right now. We do have SMF4 getting ready to kick off next year. And there will be some things going on there that could impact travel. But for right now, the only delays that we're really seeing are things that are happening out on the freeways with a lot of construction that's happening out on the different highways coming to the airport. Those are the things that we would like people to look out for. You know, checking your traffic app before you even leave the house will let you know what to expect approaching the airport. But as far as we're concerned, we don't have anything going on right now that would be conducive to any delays.
Okay. What would you tell people are some of the biggest misconceptions right now as far as traveling from SMF?
I think one of the things that we're really trying to transition away from is we used to be known as an airport that you could arrive maybe 45 minutes to an hour before your flight and have no problems getting there. And I think those days are over.
Yeah, I'd say so.
We're going to see 13 million people this next year, and we saw more than 12 million this year. We're not that small airport anymore. And I think that that's something that people need to understand is that, I think it's definitely important to remember 2 hours at least before your flight, to avoid any unnecessary stress.
Absolutely. That is great advice. As much as we get those messages, I don't think a lot of people adhere to that. And then they're always racing through the airport. They're like, oh, there are only 2 terminals. But like you said, with just the bulk and the number of people, you have to plan for that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scott, always good to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Sure.
Melanie?